Hey guys, what's going on? So, something I've noticed, especially after the pandemic, is so many people say that they're introverted. Now, this is not a new concept, it's always been around. It's widely recognized in psychology. You can find it in books, especially personality type books, like any book written by Carl Jung, or if you read anything about the MBTI, you'll run across introversion and extroversion. But something I noticed is that so many people are starting to say that they're an introvert, and it's almost like a trend. Most people are not introverted or extroverted. In my opinion, I think most people are somewhere in between, so an ambivert. But very few people actually lean more towards one side. And I've experienced people saying that they're an introvert as a way to excuse their behavior. For example, when I worked at a coffee shop, there was this one guy who got hired. We were pretty cool. We talked every shift. And one day I said, hey, if you're ever down, let's hang out. Let's get coffee or something. And he said, oh yeah, that's fine, but you would have to tell me 2 months in advance. I'm pretty introverted. And I thought, okay, what does that have to do with hanging out with me? If I say let's hang out on the 19th, yes or no? And I get it, things happen if you have a girlfriend or a pet or other responsibilities. Of course, like as adults, we do have to plan hangouts. But it made me feel really bad about myself. Like, it's such a hassle to hang out with another person. I had another coworker, and we actually did hang out outside of work a lot, and she's helped me so much with my growth. But one thing she did say that really offended me was, she said, I know I might seem extroverted, and I am, but I'm also really introverted, and I need my space from people because people drain me. And I'm gonna be honest, she put her hand on my shoulder. She said, you drain me too. Why would you say that to someone, especially a friend? And this kind of brings me to my main point. Anyone can drain anyone. Anyone can be overwhelmed by anyone. People get anxious, people get tired, people get hungry, people get annoyed. These are not traits only associated with introversion. That's called being human. If someone talks to me at 6 a.m. before I had coffee, I'm probably going to be annoyed. That doesn't mean I'm an introvert. And just because I'm an extrovert doesn't mean I want to talk to someone every day. I think that as a society, we've become too comfortable with labels. And yeah, I'll do it too. I'll say I'm an extrovert, I'm a Capricorn, this and that. But at a certain point, when you categorize yourself that way, you kind of give yourself permission to not be accountable or to not grow. So, like, if I say I'm an extrovert, people will think many things about me. He's annoying, he's talkative, he's outgoing, he's never scared of anything, he never feels depressed. That's not true. I'm an extrovert and I've been depressed most of my life. I felt isolated, I felt lonely. Yes, these are common for extroverts, but there are introverts who feel lonely too sometimes. Just because someone's an introvert doesn't mean they want to be alone all the time. It doesn't mean they don't want to have a partner or eventually get married. You know, I feel like we've become so comfortable with labels that we don't know who we are anymore. One time my friend called me and she said, where are you? And I said, I'm home. And she was like, oh. And I was like, what, did you expect me to be outside because I'm an extrovert? And she was like, yeah, actually I did. And I'm like, can we stop? Like, nowadays everyone's like, oh, I'm introverted, you know, I get anxiety around people, and I'm like, that can be true, but introversion and anxiety are not synonymous. They are two different things. Being an introvert means that you get drained from socializing with people all day. Having anxiety or feeling anxious is when you feel apprehensive or uncomfortable in any given situation. You can be an extrovert and have anxiety. You can be an extrovert and be shy. I'm both. But it's just interesting how, especially in social media, everything has become like introvert aesthetic. So you see someone pouring hot water over a tea bag, someone on a laptop, somebody reading a book, and I'm like, these things don't make you an introvert. They're just normal things people do. And I don't know, this is just a random video I made, but I was just thinking